Hey there guys, Kadahan here with some Total Warhammer. Look at Karl Franz swing his hammer around really awkwardly. We're back and still, I guess, technically in the tutorial. So, without further ado, we're going to click End Turn and continue our Empire campaign. Cool, AI faction move display. Oh, here comes our secessionists to the south.
The secessionists send out a force to stall your advance. Take the fight to them and demonstrate the manner in which you will regain mastery.
Mission issued. Engaged enemy. Our enemies gather to strike at us once more. Attack first and deny them the opportunity to reach full strength. Basically, we just need to defeat an army and with the following faction, which is the Empire Secessionists, and we get 1,000 gold. Cool. So, as Karl Franz with his... That's enough out of you. Karl Franz, with all his hammer waving, waved into existence a couple of extra units. So, when we take to the battle, we shall have a core of 3 spearmen, 2 flanking swordsman units, some halberdiers for bigger units such as cavalry, and really taking the fight to people we want dead fast since they have a pretty high what's it, melee attack? Actually, their melee attack isn't that bad, or isn't that great. It's actually just their bonus to anti-large and their armor piercing. That's pretty good. So you want to use halberdiers to take down knights, since even though spearmen have a bonus to against anti-large units, such as cavalry and monsters, they're not going to have that armor piercing. So spearmen for unarmored large units, such as cavalry that is lightly armored, or trolls and anything that has a high health pool but low armor. And then of course halberdiers can work well for them since they do have a pretty good weapon strength, but typically armor piercing is going to be doing less against units that don't have armor itself, so like overall it's a lower damage, but they'll be breaking through a lot of the armor that's present, so you want to use them against anything that is heavily armored, such as knights or armored trolls, which those are even more terrifying. Same idea goes for the handgunners with a missile damage of 16 but armor piercing, versus the crossbowmen, which is a missile damage of 21 but not armor piercing. So they all have their uses. Of course, the crossbowmen have greater range also. And lastly, we have the Reichsguard, which are shock cavalry armored and shielded. They are heavy anti-infantry with a weapon strength of 40, a charge bonus of 60, and melee attack of 32. So on the charge, they will destroy face, and they can hold their own when they're in the melee as well to get out, since they have an armor of 120. And they do have a health pool of 6,240. Pretty cool. Enough about the numbers, though. Let's go get in a battle.
To war! Battle is upon us. Study your options carefully. The enemy are close. Blood will be spilled.
So only the goddamn Emperor Karl Franz versus some jackoff named Helmut Ludenhoff. He's got a nice beard though, so I can give him that. He's got 2 units of swordsmen, 2 units of spearmen, and some crossbowmen. You have a few options here, of course. You can see what terrain you're in, which is the grassland. Pretty cool. Going to be very open, very easy for cavalry to get around. A few options are to fight the battle manually, auto-resolve with a couple of different options on how you want your units to use tactics. Oh, you can scout the terrain too. I did not know that. Oh, very cool. I don't know if this is a new addition. I didn't play Attila all that much, but here you can get an overview. I'm pretty sure this means lower ground, this means higher ground. So we're going to be deploying it on a hill and going downwards, which is very, very much to the detriment of them since we have good cavalry. Very, very cool. All right. And then lastly, we can retreat if we want to not fight, but since we have an overwhelming balance of power, that won't be an option. So let's just go straight in, even though this is going to be hopefully an easy win. Just to check out what the more battles are like. Something a little bit less throwing us into it, like the tutorial battle did, with less random goblins everywhere. Of course, I'm playing on ultra settings right now, which means that the FPS does drop from time to time. Hopefully they do some optimization patches to get a couple of FPS increase, but if it is a little bit too shaky for my taste, like right now, yes, we know. Right now, yeah, so we are starting on the hill. If it's a bit too shaky, then I might have to lower down a couple of settings, but typically it's not too bad. It sits around 60 to 40, even when getting into combat, but it's those really large battles like we had in the tutorial where there's a couple of different factions going on, a couple of different like AI control. Anyways, enough about that. Of course, this is Total War, so it has the true sight system going on. You can see here we actually don't know what's on this side of the hill, and it'll go dark out when we start the battle because none of our units can see over it. And of course, at distance, sometimes you can't see units. with a certain setting on, which we don't have on. It's like after 600 meters. And then, of course, if you're hiding in the woods, you won't be able to be seen. So he has his forces arrayed, Mr. Jackoff. What's his name? Helmet. Lord Helmet has his units arrayed in a somewhat skirmishing position. So he's defending his sides with spearmen from any sort of cavalry charges. He has skirmishers with crossbowmen in the front, and when needs be, he'll move his swordsmen up to defend. His hero is right in the fore because he's a melee warrior type hero, and just so that he can provide a little bit of extra morale to these blue dudes. Alright. We should array our forces in a very similar manner. What we'll do is we'll take our crossbowmen, set them dead center. We shall put our swordsmen, since we're going to be a bit more aggressive, we're going to put our swordsmen to either side. And we're actually going to lock those into a group, so we'll advance them all at once. And take, since they don't actually have cavalry, oh man, actually hold on. What we'll do is we'll switch. Come here, you. Go like this. You two get out of that group. We'll move our spearmen there, so we have more of a stable line instead. And we'll flank with the swordsman. I said that we were gonna flank with the swordsman initially, and then I totally just didn't do that. So, all right, this is a better setup. Cool. And then if you press Control G, they're locked like that. So wherever you go, they're gonna be in that nice little position you made. We'll put them on the higher up on the hill. Why not? And then we'll put swordsmen. We're gonna go with a unbalanced swordsman approach. So they're gonna be this side, and they're gonna look to loop around together. And then we're going to bring in a secondary spearman force like that, and we're going to lock them into there so that these guys can retreat out. They can fill the gap. Our halberdiers are going to go with the swordsmen, and our handgunners are going to just be on the flank on this side so that they can take a couple of pot shots down off of the hill. And lastly, our Reichsguard are just going to hang out here. We'll get them involved. And Karl Franz can be dead center. Start the battle. Immediately advance.
The winds of magic blow strongly in this place. Come on.
We don't even have magic available to us. God, what a terrible tutorial. Nah, it's okay. We'll get magic soon. Move you guys down. Probably keep you guys here. And our handgunners also. Since handgunners, it's just like any of the firearms utilizing Warhammer or Total Wars before, you're gonna want them to be elevated above, to fire over top units. Otherwise, you are gonna take friendly fire, which is always really nasty to get shot in the back by your comrades. All right, they're taking a defensive posture, so what we're gonna do is move up with our skirmishers and just plink at their skirmishers, because that's what you do. And we'll take the handgunners and we'll move them up also. So not to have them charge our handgunners, we're going to keep the Reichsguard there just to be a threat. And we're going to disengage him from this unit here and move this guy up front. And then they're locked in that position again. Alright, our crossbows are getting into position. They're going to have to charge us uphill if they want to put pressure on these crossbowmen, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And now, there they are. They're already starting to move. There you go. Our crossbows are headed out. Tagging them. Because those guys have shields, they're going to gain a 20% bonus against projectiles at the front. But against bullets, they're not going to survive too long. Alright, our crossbowmen are skirmishing together. We're going to send them back, because they can fire over top of other units. Can we put them into a wide formation? I don't think so. Alright. Handgunners are getting a little bit threatened, so we'll pull them back too, but set them on a side where they can fire out. Swordsmen are going to charge now, so they get that charge bonus downhill. And we're going to move the Reichsguard around. as they're under fire from crossbows right now, but that's okay because the crossbows don't have very good armor piercing. Alright, our infantry have gotten into combat. Doing a lot of poking, a lot of slapping of blades. Always want to do the counter charge. And we'll get old Sigmar in there. He doesn't have his abilities anymore, I just noticed. Well, let's get the two into direct combat with each other because I think this guy is not going to fare. Oh, I think I just hit my own dudes. I don't think they're going to fare very well. Let's pull our spearmen out so they don't get smacked by old Karl Franz because he's a bit of a friendly fire dick. Oh yeah, we'll just let these two guys attack. We'll do a cheeky charge. This is gonna be good. The charges in this game are brutal. Oh, they definitely feel like they have some impact, and that force is gonna crumble very quickly. We're gonna pull our Rice Guard straight away, and we should try to bring our spearmen around here. We're gonna charge these swordsmen with our halberdiers. We're going to try to get our spearmen around the back of these swordsmen so that we can put some serious threat on them. Alright, halberdiers versus swordsmen could go really any way. And of course the enemy commander's like, holy fucking shit, it's the goddamn Emperor himself attacking me. Alright, we're attacking uphill, which is not that great, but still that charge bonus just makes mincemeat out of them. And they broke. And there's a victory. After we slapped him around, he's still not dead though. And so this is what I was talking about afterwards, is you still have the opportunity to attack enemies after you won the battle and to dwindle down their numbers. So if we take the Rice Guard, if this guy gets away, if we ended the battle right now, he might survive. Oh, unless he gets stomped down. Come on, Karl Franz, end him. Oh no, oh, you did end him. Wow, okay, he just went to go gloat over his body. Alright, cool. So the only other thing I would want to like really take care of is perhaps these swordsman groups. And yeah, you're basically just murdering them as they're trying to run away. Which is really kind of sad. Look at them. Oh, we'll end it. And a decisive victory, which was, well, what we intended and what was kind of expected. So we lost 79 men and they lost 447. You can see, oh, Karl Franz only actually killed one, which was the enemy leader, so that's a good one kill. The Rice Guard killed 99 with their charges, which again, the Rice Guard, don't mess with them. And the guy who did the best on their side was one of their swordsman units.
Victory is yours, my lord. But what about the fate of those
Gain some loot.
captured in battle? It can be beneficial to hold them, but sometimes leniency or brutality can be worth more.
Alright, so now we have some post-battle options. We can pardon their captives, allow these warriors to return to their homelands for a ransom. Despite dipping into their treasury, the enemy will appreciate such a deed. We gain a little bit of treasury, and then we get casualty replenishment rate minus 5% on our army. Men are reluctant to join the ranks of this army because we pardon captives, which kind of sucks. Or we execute the captives, which we get a plus 4% leadership bonus to for 5 turns. These men are feeling confident after cleaning up stragglers from the recent battle. And then lastly, we can enslave them, which forces troops to change allegiance and allow them to serve in your army. You get 9% unit replenishment, which is, wow, these are a lot different than Attila and a lot different than Rome in that while they do have diplomatic outcomes as well, I imagine these two are going to give us negative diplomatic relations with the Empire of Successionists. Of course, pardoning them will give us some money and give them a better diplomatic relationship. It looks like they actually do some pretty cool things. If you want more money, you're gonna, and like for them to like you, you're not gonna be able to reinforce as much. If you kill them, you're not gonna get any money, but you will get plus 4 leadership, which is a pretty good boon if you want to continue the campaign. And then lastly, taking on captives, of course, probably gonna make them more pissed and more aggressive towards you, but you do get that replenishment. We didn't lose too many units. And we are going to be going into further battles, so we can take that morale boost by killing them.
Step to it.
And we gain a mission. Very cool.
Those that serve your cause gain experience over time, my lord.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure to guide their development to your advantage.
Alright, so we can
It is important to act quickly
Oh,
if
God.
we have any intention of securing lasting authority over the Empire. The people must...
Alright, so now we need to capture Grunberg. Gain another 1,000. Helmut Ludenhoff has died, our enemy, because Karl Franz fucking slammed Galmaraz, the Hammer of Sigmar, into his skull. And we gained a follower, the glue that holds urban society together, with a plus public order to the local province. So these followers are very similar to the way that followers worked in the previous Total War games. So I think if we click on... Oh man, where do we go for that? Character details? Uh-oh. Okay, so I got into something totally different. Oh, there it is. Followers and banners. Cool. So we have a burger. You can change those out as you see fit. Apparently you have quite a few. He has some traits here, which he's an emperor. Our names will be remembered in people's songs till the end of time. +2 leadership. His army. His army upkeep. Wow, this is pretty good. And then, of course, you come into the Warhammer aspect of equipping your units and heroes. So, of course, he has basic armor right now. Basic hand weapon. Talisman. None, right? But as we level up, we can get different types of weapons, different types of armor, different types of enchanted items. I also like how they call it a hand weapon, because that's just like what it's called on the tabletop. Same thing with leadership instead of morale. Quite nice, the little details they put in. But under skills, we have a bonus point. So here we can unlock different aspects of his development, all the way to getting better abilities and filling out his quest line to give him Deathclaw and various other abilities, such as the Reichland Runefang, Galmaraz, and the Silver Seal. Is he not wielding Galmaraz right now? Perhaps not. I thought he was wielding Galmaraz. But yeah, we can gather up the different types of items as we go forwards. Same thing with getting Deathclaw himself. But what we can do right now is do Hard to Hit, which is a melee defense, Inspiring Presence, which gives his aura a leadership effect of +5, just a passive bonus, or Route Marcher, which gives him a campaign bonus, a movement range of 10%. Pretty cool. Or we can unlock a Warhorse for him, which at the moment we don't need to be that mobile. He doesn't seem to be taking too much damage, but in the early game you do want the leadership. The difference between winning and losing is whose guys are running away, not whose are dead. So let's grab Inspiring Presence, and there we go, just like that, we purchased it. Uh-oh. Oh god, we have all kinds of tooltips that I don't know what they do. Of course he's wounded right now. Now we can explore some of the other icons on the menu. We have our objectives, both the long and the short. And then of course we have chapter objectives. Right now we have one mission. We have technology, which at the moment I don't think we're researching anything. A bunch of different things. We have our treasury, our different incomes, our different army upkeeps, what we're doing with trade, and then the breakdown of the details of it. We have our faction summary, which is nice, just Karl Franz's face. Of course, we have the heirs of Sigmar, and just our different faction power and who we're at war with, which we're at war with 2 different types of orcs, and then the successionists. Our various records, and our stats. Diplomacy. This is always a cool one. Oh boy. Okay, so this is a little bit of the map of the old world. So here's our little section here, where like we control the empire, but nobody really cares. We have this blah, 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 blah. I can't say things. Basically, we have a couple of different factions here, and this is broken down by their attitude towards us. How do I get to know... Okay, so here we have Stirland, which is pretty alright with us. Tablicand, which is pretty alright with us. Wizenland, which is, yeah, not as great. The Successionists, of course, they don't really like us, and that we're at war with. And then we have a couple of different, like Marienburg, that's not really keen on us. And then the different types of orcs and various others, like the vampire counts and the northern dudes, the dwarves and stuff, all those things. You can engage, of course, in diplomacy with them. So if we want to talk to Sterling, let's go initiate diplomacy.
Approach and make your offer, but I make no promises to
And
my
you
assent.
can see about where he is, his strength rating, what his trade goods he has, and we can offer demands and stuff, defensive, military, confederation, all that fun jazz, all that old Total War stuff. And then, of course, lastly, we have the offices, which we can hire a Reichsmarshal, Patriarch, Archlector, Castilian Engineer, Treasurer, and Spymaster. But we don't have any lords right now, only the Emperor himself. Very cool. I think if we press Tab, there we go. So this is the So the diplomacy menu, but just the like the overhead map, and we can see where we're at, what sort of cities have what sort of strategic resources, and just take a quick overview of, look at this. This map is huge. So we have all of Norska up above. We have the Chaos Wastes here, and they stretch up top as well, but of course that's off the edge of the map, and there'd be monsters. We have Troll Country, part of Kislev, the bastion of man that holds the northern section here, Kislev. And then we have the Empire core lands themselves. We have basically the Southern Grey Mountains, and this is Ethel Lorraine, the land of the Wood Elves. We have Bretonnia, land of the French Arthurian legends. Estalia, which is basically Spain, like tiny Spain. Tilia, which is basically Italy, like little Italy. The vaults and the different mountains where the dwarves hang out in and have their homes, and there might not be ratmen underneath there, but ratmen are real, remember that. Of course the dwarves here too, and then of course we have the wastelands where the greenskins hang out, vampire counts. This is all troll country, there be trolls here, and I think, like, I can't remember, there's other marauders, and then over here is an invisible island full of high elves, and then further on is a giant area full of lizards and high elves, but wearing S&M gear. But we don't worry about them until the expansion comes out. Neat. I think we're free to do our own thing now. So, let us build. We're building that. We can't unlock anything more. Old Karl Franz is supposed to take this city.
Absolutely not.
But
I am Prince and
you are
Emperor.
Prince and Emperor. We should almost hire in. Oh no. Okay, yeah, because there's different stances too. I didn't realize we're in enemy territory.
Ready.
If we go into, where is it? Encampment stance, then we can access the global recruitment pool. But we can't move, of course. Screw it. I think we're in a good state to carry on. We're going to be slightly weakened, but we're going to move on to attack Grunberg.
Men, we must attack.
The city has been reached, and your warriors are prepared for
Alright, and so we have a few different options. Of course, this is going to be a cakewalk. They've got, what, in total 3 spearmen, 4 swordsmen, and then 1 group of really weakened crossbowmen. Remaining turns to surrender, supply runs out. So this is basically if we wanted to siege them, we can encircle them and wait them out, let them dwindle down. But screw that, we're gonna go straight on assault because we're the goddamn emperor. And our Reichsguard, just like this picture said, is gonna wreck face, because that spear, if you see right there, that's a spear going through somebody's head, somebody's helmeted head. But when you have like I don't even know how much a warhorse weighs, like a destrier, or I think that's how you pronounce it, destrier. But those things weigh like 400, 500, 600 pounds or something like that crazy, and then it has plate armor on, so that sort of a weight at that speed coming at you is going to do some face wrecking. Of course, wow, they've got a really good starting position with reinforcements. We're going to have to fight into the woods, so looking at this, if you press tab, we can go into an overview, and wow, that actually like really doesn't help us at all, because this is a really high elevation place. Our cavalry aren't going to do very well. I think what we're going to want to do is bring them up to here and then maneuver them into here and try to do some sort of a charge. But mostly it's going to come down to foot slogging. So what we're going to do is put our core of spearmen here. We're going to keep them pretty tight. Same with our swordsmen. We're going to keep them here pretty tight. And our halberdiers on the side. I guess they're going to be on their own. We can put them in with the spearman, why not? What are you doing? Get a little bar there. I think that's his health. Same thing, our handgunners and our crossbowmen aren't going to do very well, but we're going to leave them right out in the open and kind of bait people in. Same thing with the cavalry. So they're going to be able to see our cavalry and our skirmishers straight ahead, but as they focus on them, we're going to be pushing up our infantry through the forest, and then hopefully we'll get at least into this forest before they see us. There's going to be a little skirt here that we're going to have to make. We're going to have to do it pretty quickly too. And of course Sigmar is going to go with them. Sigmar, God, I keep saying that. Karl Franz is going to go with them. So let's start the battle. Looks like they started out pretty close. They're going to move you up. And you are going to go straight up that hill. We're just going to walk them there though. Same thing with these guys, we're just going to walk. Hopefully, are you guys walking? You guys better be fucking walking, mate. There we go. Alright, and you guys over here too. Just walk, please. If you run a lot of times, you'll be able to be spotted even if you're in the woods, so we're gonna walk there. One of my dudes, oh, you can be seen. You can be seen for like just a moment there. You can tell if they can be seen or not by this little hidden icon. I'll bring Karl Franz up there. He's gonna walk because that's what he does. And alright, we're gonna get our handgunners in a position where they can start firing upwards. Same thing with the crossbow. We're actually gonna keep them pretty tight. And these lumbering beasts, look at them. Look at how glorious they are. Look at those. Those horses know that they're being ridden by the cream of the crop. Hell, those horses themselves know that they're the cream of the crop. When they walk through the stables, when they get tied up, man, they look at the other horses and like, you're damn right I'm a war horse. You're damn fucking right I carries a Reichsguard in a glorious battle against Sigmar's enemies. They know. Alright. Looks like the enemy's getting a little bit cocky. A little bit confident. Because we're bringing them out. Oh, can you be seen? Uh-oh. We don't want to, like, betray our hand too quickly. So we're going to get some easy damage in here if we can hit them. But we're also going to try to bait them out a bit, especially towards our cavalry. I love the sound of those guns. Not as much smoke as Empire or Napoleon or Fall of the Samurai, but still pretty cool. Alright, looks like they're getting a little bit too close to us, so what we're going to do is do a charge into their side there, and looks like they're going to respond by following the charge back. Gonna pull these guys back out, and we're going to bring in this group. Oh, good hit. Gonna pull back from that charge and pull further into our fallback line. And of course we are attacking with these guys. Got that good charge off. We're gonna go for the flank. And let's grab our swordsmen because they do have reinforcements coming, though the reinforcements are fairly pitiful. We turn back around for the charge. It looks like those spearmen are getting dangerously close to both our skirmishing units. Let's get old Sigmar or old Karl Franz in there. And how are our forces doing here? Alright, our swordsmen are going to go mop up the enemy reinforcements here. Getting on this battle. It's going not so great for us because we're attacked on kind of multiple fronts here, but we are holding our own. Spearmen versus halberdiers is going to go to the halberdiers for sure. Alright, so our crossbowmen are taking a bit of a beating. You can tell how they're doing by that that icon up above. If it's red, it means that they're not doing great, as I'm aware. If it's green, they're doing fairly good. And yellow means it could go either way. Just gotta try to break away some of our swordsmen here to take the back. Our spearmen are doing okay, they can stay. And oh man, they're firing right into our Reichsguard, that's not good. We'll pull the Reichsguard back and we're gonna do, oh man, this is gonna be great. Oh, they're pretty tired though. A little bit winded. The horses could do a little bit of a break. I mean, war horses that they are, it's still pretty difficult thing to carry a knight into battle. Oh, look at that charge. Alright, we gotta tell these guys to stop firing. Otherwise they're gonna fire in on us. And since we got that flank on these guys and the charge too, they're really breaking their morale. And there we are, there's the victory. Did I tell you guys not to fire at will? You jerks. One of the biggest killers of my own units, I think, in Total War games has always been my friendly fire from projectiles. I get too dead set on projectiles and end up getting people killed. So this is their regional. This is their regional leader. Basically, the garrison leader is going to be a normal troop if you don't have a lord there. So we're just gonna like clean them up. Look at those numbers drop. our horsemen and our swordsmen are just having a bit of bloody fun. Those damn blues never stood a chance. Look at this guy. It's Total War always presents a glorious sort of clusterfuck during battles. This is the sound of trampling horses. All right, we'll let this end in a decisive victory. All right, and we lost 96 people, and we killed what, 572? No, 571. Or yeah, 571. But of course, since we took the settlement, and I don't think they have anywhere to run, we will pretty much execute the rest of them. All right, decisive victory. We get some loot from that.
At last, the defenses have fallen.
And of course, we get the option to occupy, loot and occupy, sack, or raise. If we raise, we burn to the ground. If we sack it, we just basically destroy a lot of it. We gain provincial instability in the whole province, which unfortunately Altdorf is in this province, so we don't want to do that. But we do get the most money from it. We can loot and occupy, which gives us the same instability, lots of money, but also we get a conquest penalty for occupying it after we already basically burned it to the ground. Lastly, we can peacefully occupy it, which we gain unit replenishment. We still have the conquest penalty, but it's not that bad, and the original instability is not that bad. But we do have to take it on as a town, so sometimes you might not want to take it on. Raising, though, pretty much is left for people you want dead and dead forever. So we're gonna occupy. Chase those blues out.
The nation calls.
All right, and we gained some money.
Your burgeoning realm grows, Your Eminence. Yet many evils still abound in this world. The Empire remains divided, and marauding greenskins still threaten your lands. Further afield, there are rumors of a dark force rising in the east, spreading the taint of undeath. You must remain
And
vigilant.
so we will. Now we have this our objective issued here: a fractured nation. Loot, occupy, or raise. Wait, loot, sack, occupy, raise. That's right. 2 different settlements. We get 2,000 treasury. The election of a new emperor has oft led to turmoil as the machinations of the elector-counts play out. But as the nobles conduct their petty power struggles, the nation fractures. It is up to the newly elected sovereign to begin the process for reunification. Bringing an entire province under his rule must be a priority. Basically, if you ever played Crusader Kings and you become the king at any point in time, you know exactly what this is. Every time there's a new king, you basically spend the next 20 years fighting your own realm. And there's actually a mod for Crusader Kings that brings it to the old world of Warhammer Fantasy called Geheimnisnacht, and I love playing that, but it's about as twisted and backstabby.
Sources report that Middenheim is sending help to the secessionists in an effort to destabilize the Empire, intercept their reinforcements, and demonstrate to Todbringer that there is but one master.
God,
right.
Middenheim, what are you doing? Battle of Bloodpine Woods, quest issued. Those that would break away from the rule of Empire are nothing but tenacious. They have sent a request for assistance to allies in the north, and the appeal has been answered with covert detachments of men. Our spies have revealed the massing of a military force in the Bloodpine Woods. Take the fight to them before they can grow into an army. Win the following battle, Battle of Bloodpine Woods, and we gain the Sword of Striking, a common weapon. Found in the hands of a long-dead guardian, this sword guides its user, making them a much better fighter, a charge bonus, and a melee attack bonus. And a hero gets recruited at Altdorf, a battle wizard. Cool. So this is the quest mechanic system.
Your army has marched all it...
Oh god. We gain a follower, a militiaman. Even a small amount of training can be the difference between life and death on the blood-soaked battlefields of the old world. Unit experience +1 for infantry unit recruits. Nice. And we were ranked 3 with Karl Franz. So the quest system is a little bit something different. Oh god, look at those spider webs. And then has been seen previously in a Total War game. It's kind of a personal touch on the different legendary lords, and we'll take them from being basically scrubs to the full-fledged legendary heroes that they are on the tabletop. This being the first quest of many for Sir Karl Franz. Where are you? So of course we're hanging out in the garrison of Grunberg right now, getting replenished. We'll do a level up. Of course, because we opened this, we now have access to a couple of different new abilities, such as Hold the Line, which is an area augment that gives charge resistance and leadership. Honest Steel, which gives us melee defense for spearmen, swordsmen, and halberdiers. Pistol Core, which gives us 3% missile infantry ammunition. And Speed of the Horse, which gives a 3% charge bonus for pistoliers and outrider units, which is really weird because typically we don't want pistoliers or outriders to charge because they're ranged. They're horse archers, but horse archers with pistols and rifles, carbines. So, or we could go down the other two routes and try to gather them up. Let's actually go for the Warhorse because I want for him, Karl Franz, to be a bit more mobile. Now I can see that he has split up between character skills, battle skills, and campaign skills. Right now we're split down the middle between the two battle skills and character skills. Cool. So let's have a look at our newly conquered area. We have, of course, cattle pastures here, which are giving us growth and a casualty replenishment rate. Nice. We have, it's just a hamlet, which gives us some income, some growth, construction slots, and gives us some garrison units. Nothing too interesting. Our province, though, as a whole, Altdorf and Grunberg, is looking a little bit angry. Our conquest is going to take it down by some, but after that and the provincial stability returns to normal, we should have a upward rise in public order. Next on the list, of course, is to take Eilhart and Helmgart so that we can unite the whole province of the Reichland together. We do have to watch out for the bloody greenskins and Ratgash. And of course the secessionists on the rise. So we will return to that in the next one. Nice little sneak peek into the Total War Warhammer game world and the Empire campaign. We'll be continuing this on the channel as we go. I think we're going to be doing like a sort of a 2 episodes of Dark Souls, 1 episode of something else, whether it's Stellaris or this, of course, and we will be continuing, hopefully, our Zombie Army trilogy playthrough with Matt, Brendo, and a surprise guest, Cameron, hopefully later on. So thanks, guys, for watching. Please like or dislike as you see fit. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you then.